Councillor Chris Vince, what brings you to First Avenue with your colleagues this morning?
Well, we're here basically to protest the shocking state of Harlow's roads. For too long now, Essex County Council have let down Harlow, and you can see just next to me some of the examples of the potholes along First Avenue. But it's not just about First Avenue, it's about the whole of Harlow. And we've hearing time and time again on the doorstep the complaint about potholes. It's getting worse and worse. The Conservative County Council saying this is managed decline of our roads because of the cost of living crisis. My answer to them would be, well, they must have predicted that 10 years ago, because we've had 10 years of our roads being in disrepair. And actually what residents are saying to us is actually it's causing damage to their cars. I spoke to residents in my ward, Little Pondon, on Thursday when I was outdoor knocking, and they said to me they had to spend over £100 on new tyres for their cars. So people are fed up with the condition of Harlow's roads, and we're here today to say enough is enough. There
was a press release released by the Harlow Conservatives last night saying First Avenue is being repaired, but it looks a bit mix and match, and there's a very large pothole behind you.
Well, if they are repaired, they haven't repaired it yet. Absolutely right. And actually, you know, it shows the power obviously the Labour Party have had in terms of putting pressure on the Conservatives to actually get something done. I suspect we may have to do another march along Montpel's Road very soon to get that one fixed, because again, that's another road which is absolutely disgusting. But actually, you know, if Essex County Council had the money to fix First Avenue to start with, why had they waited until we, the Harlow Labour Party, have made a big fuss about getting it sorted out? And why now they found the money after their portfolio holder felt they needed to resign due to lack of support? So there's a lot of questions there about the timings of that report. But as you've said, you know, the road still isn't repaired. We're waiting for it to be sorted out, and there are many more in Harlow that look like this.
Basically, it's dangerous, as you can see behind you as you're filming. You know, there are cars swerving, there are cars trying to avoid the pothole. That's just, these are road traffic conditions waiting to happen, aren't they?
Absolutely, and I've driven down here myself and done the same thing. And the thing is, you know, you've got that bus lane there, people swerve into the bus lane. If there are buses coming along, that's clearly going to cause a huge issue. So yeah, they may massively need, you know, repaired. And I would say as well, you know, to emphasise what I said earlier, people's cars are getting damaged. They're being forced to pay out money to get their cars repaired. Look, of course we want people to be able to use public transport. We want people not to be needing to drive, but we know a lot of people do need to drive for their work, and actually they can't afford to have the damage done to their vehicles, and they can't afford to get it fixed.
Do you sympathise with our readers, of which we have a few, in which every story put about regeneration, I think, you know, whether it's the cultural quarter, the town centre, new hospitals, etc., etc. They say, deal with the infrastructure first, deal with the roads first. You can understand, I can't risk driving to regeneration because I'll get a £300 bill for my car.
Yeah, well, and absolutely, and I think this is an example of a government that's got its priorities all wrong, frankly. You know, absolutely we welcome any investment and any regeneration into Harlow, and as Councillor Neville was correct in saying, you know, this money that we get is earmarked for certain projects, so it can't be spent on other things. But then again, for me, that's the government getting its priorities wrong. You know, Rishi Sunak talks about you know, all the money being spent on this levelling up fund, but that levelling up fund isn't going towards, you know, feeding people, making them able to go to work, all the things that really matter. And I have to say to Mr Sunak, you know, if he's going along First Avenue with the state of the potholes, I'd really recommend he puts a seatbelt on, because it's really dangerous.